Hello, Dijon here. In the comics portion of episode 134 of the Mustardcast, we go over what books we've been reading lately, discuss DC and Marvel's Comic Con announcements, and review Chapter 5 and 6 of Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. Please enjoy. Okay, moving on to comics. Bree, why don't you kick things off?
So not a comic, but more so a manga. It's one of the ones that get recommended to you on like Instagram or like YouTube, and it's called like Fake It Till You Break It, and it's about like this princess who does not like her husband at all, and they were like married since like birth, nothing freaky deaky or anything like that. Like they were both children. They were like, oh yeah, to like fix the kingdom or something, we'll just have our children be married and then blah blah blah. But as they grow up, she realized she does not like this guy, and like his behavior to her is like really like cold and weird. And so she gets into like an accident where she's like completely fine, but decides to like pretend that she lost her memory. And so she was like, "Oh, if I like pretend to like act differently towards him like how I used to, maybe he'll like run away or something." But anyway, so she's like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna act overly sweet and like endearing instead of like distant and cold, and like he'll surely like run away because he'll be awkward." But no, dude rolls with the punches. He's like, "No, like before you lost your memory, we were like madly in love, and like you called me this nickname, and we did this together. We did this." She was like, "What the heck? Why is he lying like this?" But
That's
essentially,
hilarious.
it is.
I
It's
think
pretty
I've
funny.
seen the ads for this and I've been wanting to read it. So
Yeah, I
now that
found
I
a
know it's
free one to
good,
read.
I'm locked in.
And like luckily it's like nothing weird because like someone does eventually find out that she's fake and you say, "Look, I don't like the guy either, so maybe we can like really trick him."
Well,
But
he was
like
like,
each time she
then
tries to
now
like
we
act
can kill
differently,
him.
he's just like, "Whoop it." We can kill him.
We could kill him is insane.
But like yeah, she starts to see like a new side of him that she never saw before. And like she kind of like unveils certain things about their past. So like it's actually pretty decent. I'm not mad at it. It's
Noted.
a cute read. I haven't finished it yet.
Yeah, those like Instagram ads where they advertise those mangas where it's like the plot is something absolutely insane. Like they be getting me sometimes. Real
There was
bad.
one
There's
I
this
like ended
one
up buying because it was so good.
shit.
It was
Which
called
one
like
was
Love
that?
and Hell. I think it was like Love and Hell or
Mhm.
something like that. And it was going through like the different lives of like married women and like their husbands and how like they're treated. And I don't know, but oh, they just eat. I was like, I gotta buy the next chapters. I think it's still ongoing, but like you're just sitting there rooting for the wife. I'm like, girl, get your evidence and get out of there. Ruin this man's
Over
life.
there, run
Ruin his
it.
life. But like it's
There's this
different women
one.
like going through like stuff. So like one girl's boyfriend was like really abusive, but she's still in love with him. And then like another girl, her husband is like I think actively cheating on her
Ooh,
or
yikes.
something like that. And then there's like three women so far. But I recommend it so much. Like I didn't think it would be so good. Like these ads, guys, take them seriously
Mm.
sometimes. 'Cause some of them are really, really good.
Yeah, there's this one I've been wanting to read where it's like a scorned younger sister and like her older sister is the bride of like a fox demon and so like her parents give them everything that they want.
Oh my gosh.
And then like the little sister's like, "I hate my life. I think I might just kill myself." And then she finds another guy who's like, "You'll be my bride." And she doesn't know this man from a hole in the wall and that's where the ad ends and I'm like, "I have to know." I have to know.
Do you remember the name? I feel like I've seen that.
I don't, but if I find it again, I'll send it to you.
Okay, cool,
Those
cool.
those ads be insane. What have you been reading, Aiara?
Still reading Demon Slayer, getting through the Mugen Train arc very slowly. It's not really hitting for me like the rest of the manga was, unfortunately. But I feel like it's a thing of because I know what happens at the end already.
Oh
Because of
no.
you know, having how deeply ingrained in the public consciousness Demon Slayer is, it's like very hard to avoid spoilers. So it's like I know what happens, but I'm trying to persevere and get through it anyway. Been catching up with Claymore and Helsing, and that's been nice, although also slow going. I feel like I started something new recently, and I'm trying to remember. I don't remember. I don't think I did start anything new, and I'm just misremembering. But Yeah, mostly my usuals: Claymore, Demon Slayer.
Well, for me, still always reading 1,000 things. Read, went and picked up my comics lately, and it was another thick stack. Um, I forgot to add it, but I picked up the first issue of the Deadpool and Batman crossover comic, the first Marvel DC crossover comic in like 20 years.
Oh
Uh, I
wow.
got an awesome variant cover where on the cover it's Wolverine and Batman fighting. It's so cool. Hold on, let me look it up and send you a picture of it. The this variant cover is sick.
You talking about crossover reminds me that DC did a crossover with like Sonic.
Oh yeah, we talked about that
Yeah.
last episode. It's
Yeah. Did you read it at all?
no,
Okay. I have no clue if it's good or not.
I've heard it was good. Well, I've seen a bunch of pages from it that people posted online.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have that cover. And I only read the beginning, which is the Deadpool Batman story, where Deadpool is hired by the Joker to capture Batman, and then Batman pits them against each other and then escapes, and captures the Joker. And then all the issues after that are other DC characters crossing over. Let me get real quick to read who is crossing over with who in it. I know the one after Batman and Deadpool is Captain America and Wonder Woman on the battlefield of World War II, which is interesting.
Mm.
Maybe I shouldn't talk while I read this open. A new innovation has been made in comic book technology. So they come in sleeves, right? Plastic sleeves with like a cardstock backboard. And
Mm-hmm.
so the sticky part, so that you can fold down the flap and seal it, is usually on the flap itself, but they've innovated. And now the sticky part
Ooh.
is on the back of the spot where the actual comic goes in. Because sometimes when it's on the flap, when you try to put the comic in, the comic will stick to the flap. And I'm like, stop this. And one time I made a mistake and like ripped off a little tiny piece of the comic. And I was like, no. So I had to be careful ever since then. But now the comic shop I go to, they use sleeves that have the sticky part on a part where the comic doesn't touch. So it just slides in easy.
Ooh.
So yeah, anyway.
Maybe they heard the complaints. Let me fix this.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, and the Deadpool Batman was drawn by my favorite Batman artist, Greg Capullo, who his art's awesome. But let me flip through these pages and find it. So yeah, we got Captain America and Wonder Woman, written by Chip Zdarsky, drawn by Terry Dodson. We have Jeff the Shark and Crypto the Superdog by Kelly Thompson. And Gurihiru. Oh, we have Daredevil and Green Arrow by Kevin Smith and Adam Kubert. We have Rocket Raccoon and Green Lantern by Al Ewing, Dyke Ruin. We have Old Man Logan and the Batman The Dark Knight Returns by Frank Miller and Alex Sinclair. And then we just have a random Lobo. But yeah, it's a fun read. I have to finish it up. It's just a longer comic because there's a bunch of short stories in it after the main story. But I also read The Ultimates number 16. Ultimate Hawkeye number 1. It's one shot, so 1 of 1. Ultimate Wolverine number 9 and 10. And I was starting to fall off Ultimate Wolverine, but now it's starting to pick up. I'm like, hold on now. Let me let them cook. I almost stopped buying them, but they're pulling me back in. Ultimate Spider-Man number 21, which I kept hearing people say was boring, and then I read it. I'm like, it wasn't boring. I like that. Maybe I just have different tastes from everybody else. I don't know. I was like, that was a good issue. I don't know what people are complaining about. We got a Batman number 1 by Matt Fraction and George Jimenez, an all-star creative team of 2 artists that I love. Matt Fraction wrote a Hawkeye comic that's really good that was adapted for the show that wasn't nearly as good as the comic. George Jimenez has been drawn on Batman for a while, but I first was introduced to him through his Superman art, which I think he's the best modern Superman artist. So when I saw that they were working on it together, I was like, this is awesome. Actually, you know what? Because the marketing for this is great, but it's another one of those situations where if you're not a comic book person and you're not following comic book people, I follow so many comic book artists, you're not like seeing this art, so I'm actually going to send it to you. Because if you saw these things, because you follow these people, which by the way, you should follow comic artists on Instagram.
Please send all of them.
Yeah, because I would say that's
So
so let me tell you something. Anytime we read a comic, look up the comic artists on Google and go to their Instagram, because then you will be told about the comics that they're working on. So if you like an artist, you like a writer, you will see them post on Instagram about the comics that they're working on. But let me look up these Batman concept arts from George Jimenez real quick, because he was just posting a lot of it, and it had everybody go, hold on now, they're cooking. But when people heard Matt Fraction was working on it, everybody immediately was excited because Matt Fraction's awesome. And then when we started getting all of the art of the character designs, then everybody got real excited. We also seen George Jimenez's Instagram.
Oh, I've actually seen
Ooh,
this
this is
art.
hard.
Yes, his costume right now is so good.
I like the spiky cape over the circular dips. I don't know what about that is attracting me so bad, but I really like that a lot.
Giving bat.
Yeah, like
Yeah, if you just go to Instagram and look up and like just look at the art, it's great. Let me go to his Twitter because that'll be
But yeah, I
easier
think I
place
came
to.
across this art in passing on Instagram.
oh
But I didn't
yeah.
follow the artist.
Yeah. So let me drop that follow right now.
Yeah, look at the way this man draws. Look at this cover. He's doing covers where he's like breaking down like the gadgets that are really cool. These variant covers, and this one for like the utility belt is really cool. Like his art is just so good.
I have seen this man's art before. It's so clean.
Yeah.
It is. His line work is so good.
How does he get such saturated colors? Like they fit so well.
Yeah, I'm curious who's. Let me actually look that up to see who was the colorist on Batman #1.
Every time I look at art, I'm like, I gotta get back in the studying game so I can improve because this is beautiful.
I thought you were going to say I gotta get back in the studio.
I gotta get back in the studio. I gotta rap about this.
Imagine if artists talking about getting back in the studio like rappers do.
You know what? I'm gonna start saying that. Oh my gosh, the way he draws expressions too.
The colorist is Tommy Mori. That's a very specific name, Tommy Mori. But yeah,
Mori.
what else do I have? Lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, I was going through the comics. So I also read Mysterific Year 1, #4, Green Arrow 27, Batgirl #11, which Batgirl's so good. For the past few days, I've just been imagining what like a Batgirl TV show could look like, because a Batgirl show could easily connect to these other characters. Because a Batgirl story would be heavily like martial arts focused. This comic is very martial arts focused, because her mom is Lady Shiva, who is like one of the greatest martial artists in the DC universe, and also the man that trained her is Bronze Tiger, another one of the greatest martial artists in the DC universe. And Bronze Tiger and Lady Shiva were friends at one point in time, and they both were also friends with Richard Dragon, another one of the best fighters in the DC universe. Like it's just her lineage is just connected to all of these great fighters. Then of course, she's also a student of Batman, so it's like she is considered by most the best DC fighter, Batgirl, the second Batgirl, Cassandra Cain. And this comic has been so good. It's been so good. Maybe you guys will check it out whenever we get the DC universe. But let me wrap this up. We got Superman 29, Absolute Green Lantern #6, Red Hood the Hill #3, The Flash #4, Cheetah and Cheshire robbed the Justice League issue #2, which I don't remember if I brought up issue #1 last episode. But it's essentially like Ocean's 11 meets DC, which is really fun. Justice League Unlimited #10, Absolute Batman #12, Fire and Ice When Hell Freezes Over #6, which is the final issue of the miniseries. Batman Dark Patterns #10, which continues to be incredible. And despite this man drawing every single chapter except maybe a couple, I didn't realize that it was the same artist as Absolute Wonder Woman on this book, Hayden Sherman, whose art is incredible. Poison Ivy #36, and lastly, not lastly, Birds of Prey #25. And I forgot to write it down because I had this physically, Absolute Evil #1, which was a one-shot about the Absolute Universe's Legion of Doom, the villain group, and that was really good. And it was wild. There was a character died, and it was crazy. Moving on to some news, which we don't always have in this section, but it's Comic-Con, so there's a lot of news. And we're going to start with some DC news. I'm getting most of this info from DCU updates on Twitter. First up is DC's next initiative after DCKO called DC Next Level, with a new series with some of the best creators in comics. It's about providing highly accessible books and spotlighting some characters and creators in a new way. And they went to the creators and asked them what projects they wanted to do. The books announced were Batwoman, Barbara Gordon Breakout, Deathstroke the Terminator, The Demon, Firestorm the Nuclear Man, Batman Shadow of the Bat, Lobo, and Zatanna. With creatives Jeff Lemire, Tony Fleeks, Jamal Campbell, Joshua Williamson, James Herron, Mariko Tamaki, and Dennis Camp revealed to be attached to these series. But we weren't told who was attached to what series specifically, except for two of them. The two series that were that they were willing to attach creators to were Lobo by Scotty Young and George Corona, and my most anticipated of them all, Batwoman by Greg Rucka and Danny. You can look up Danny art. There's literally just look up Danny comic art, because I looked them up and I was like, what's their last name? They just go by Danny. And Greg Rucka was the man responsible for reimagining Batwoman into what she is today, 17 years ago. Batwoman was created in the 50s alongside the original Batgirl, which was not Barbara Gordon. Barbara Gordon was created for the live-action Adam West show, and then she was added to the comics and was retconned into being the first Batgirl, but she's actually not the first Batgirl, technically. But yeah, the original Batwoman and Batgirl were created in the 50s as love interest for Batman and Robin, just to prove that the dynamic duo weren't in a romantic relationship like a bunch of weirdos thought back in the day. Now, Batwoman is as far from being an object of Batman's desire as possible, by, of course, being given, agency and a story of her own beyond that, but also by being Batman's cousin and a lesbian. So Greg Rucka did everything in his power to wipe away that old storyline, which was already retconned, which was why he was able to bring the character back like that. But yeah, after not enjoying the first episode of the live action Batwoman show that was on the CW, I decided to read the Batwoman Volume 1 Elegy comic by Greg Rucka and J.H. Williams III on art, which J.H. Williams III's art is so goddamn good. And I've added Batwoman to the list. We're going to read that eventually. That comic was really good. And that's where I fell in love with Rucka's writing and became a fan of Batwoman. And yeah, it's real good. If I had to guess of what people are attached to other comics that were mentioned, there's only one that I really have a good guess on, and that is that Jamal Campbell is 100% working on Zatanna. So the most recent Zatanna comic only ended 2 months ago, and guess who wrote and drew it? Jamal Campbell. So so Zatanna isn't coming back next year, and they put that man's name on here randomly. He's definitely going to be the one working on it. Jamal Campbell's art is great, and he's also a pretty good writer. A bit of context, because I mentioned DCKO, but you're probably wondering, what the hell is DCKO? So here's the synopsis of the series. The heart of Apocalypse has transformed Earth into a hellscape in preparation for the return of Darkseid. The end of the DC universe is here. The Justice League's only chance to defeat Darkseid is to enter a deadly tournament, an epic and over-the-top battle royale that will surprise you. The world's greatest heroes fight to become the champion to enter the ring against Darkseid. But there's a catch. The closer you get to the heart of Apocalypse, the more it corrupts you and changes you into something dangerous. Which DC character has what it takes to make it to the end? Who's willing to do what it takes to win, even if it means taking down their friends and family? So yeah, it's a fighting tournament crossover event. And I haven't read issue 1 yet. It's in, I have it downloaded, but I haven't sat down and read it yet. But I will in time for next episode. And the fallout of this event will result in the new line of comics, that I just talked about. But something real interesting, I sent a picture of it that you were probably like, what the fuck is this? That I sent in the comics section of our Discord. At Comic-Con, it was revealed that some non-DC characters, including characters characters that WB owns and a decent amount of characters that WB doesn't own will be making cameos in this comic. The characters teased by the writer of the crossover, Scott Snyder, are Vampirella and Red Sonja from Dynamite Comics, Annabelle, yes, the doll from the horror movies,
Doll?
Okay.
Oh,
which
that's
I didn't even
insane.
notice her in the corner over there. What?
which is a WB property. Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat, which isn't a surprise, that's owned by WB. And he was in Injustice 2. Homelander from The Boys, also not that big of a surprise. He was in Mortal Kombat 1.
Yeah.
And I hope he gets destroyed immediately by the weakest character in the tournament. Because in comparison to DC characters, Homelander is nothing.
Yeah.
Also, he sucks. And not the show. The show's good. It's not for me, but it's a good show. And the character is a good character in the show. But as a person, he sucks and deserves to be destroyed.
True.
And lastly, a complete new character for me. But from a comic that I think will very much interest you guys, because I read it and I was like, what the hell is this? And apparently it's only 6 issues, so maybe we'll read this. Maybe I'll throw this on the list and we'll all go through this fever dream together. Her name is Samantha Strong, and she's the main character of a comic called Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, which is about a serial
Exactly what that is.
which is about a serial killer brown bear who secretly commits murders outside of her hometown and buries her victims in the woods to avoid suspicion. When Woodbrook locals start getting killed in gruesome ways, Sam does her own investigating to catch the perpetrator and prevent her secret double life becoming public knowledge. And this is from, I believe, Image Comics. Yeah, this shit's wild. And it's like anthropomorphic animals. It's crazy. I saw it and I was like, who is this bear person? And I looked it up and I was like, what the hell is this? What is this weird shit? Let me read it.
When you sent this picture, I was like, what is my girl Samantha doing here? What?
Right.
Yeah, shit's.
I didn't know that this was like their property. Wow. So interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much only 2 of them are actual DC characters. I mean, WB characters, which is Annabelle and Sub-Zero. The rest of them are other people's properties.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
But yeah, that's very interesting. Now, this DCKO event and the crossovers that they're having has people suspicious. People are suspicious that this is all a setup for the next DC fighting game from NetherRealm Studios. And that it won't be Injustice 3, but an adaptation of DCKO. And if that's the case, I have hopes and I have wishes. It's been leaked that that voice actors have begun recording for what we all assume to be Injustice 3. But the Injustice 3 story and universe has run its course. It's been milk dry. There's nothing else to do there. So it does make sense, and I've been hoping that they would go to a different universe, tell a different story with the DC characters. And what better way to get a bunch of random characters together to fight than a fighting tournament? You know, it's how Mortal Kombat does it. This is the Mortal Kombat devs. Better yet, if it spans multiple universes, which is my hope. And that as a result, we get some absolute versions of characters as playable fighters. Imagine playing as the big, 6'8" jacked Batman with an axe from the Absolute Universe instead of the regular Batman. or Wonder Woman that's a witch and has a Buster sword. Slight tiny spoilers if you didn't know that. Or that version of Bane, which is just Bane but bigger. Or Martian Manhunter, which we'll get to that. Who just slight little hint at what that looks like. I imagine he would play very similar to how Phoenix Wright plays in Marvel vs. Capcom.
Which is insane.
Which is insane because normal Martian Manhunter, you know him. He's like, he's has all the same powers as Superman. Plus, he can shapeshift, turn intangible, and has telepathy. Nothing I just said of comparing him to Phoenix Wright in a fighting game would be how you would imagine that version of Martian Manhunter to fight. Because he's in Injustice 1. He just stretches and shoots lasers and turns intangible. Nah, not Absolute version. Absolute version is real different. But yeah, I'm excited to read DCKO and where that story goes. I'm not usually a fan of crossovers, but this one's fun. This one's just fun. I usually hate them because they interrupt my comics, but they haven't been interrupting my comics, and I love that. When I was reading Daredevil, and just fucking Venom interrupted my comic. Venom, get the fuck out of my Daredevil comic, bro. Why are you here? Go away. I don't care. I'm reading Daredevil, not Spider-Man. Get this nigga out of here.
You feel like he just walked into the room while you're reading.
Right.
I'm just reading the comic.
Like he's like your annoying roommate or something.
Right. We're out of milk. It's like, if you don't get the hell out, oh hell.
Well, yeah, Marvel didn't have nearly as much news that I was interested in, but they did announce that the Ultimate Universe is coming to an end next year in 2026. Spider-Man is ending in December, Black Panther in January, X-Men in February, the Ultimates in April, and Wolverine in what's the month after April? March, April, May. And all of them except Wolverine are ending with issue number 24. Wolverine is ending with issue number 26. 26. 16. Dennis Camp posted on Twitter saying, I will do a longer post later, but this is real. I understand why some might be sad, but I hope you will see that this is something to be excited about. Most stories in comics don't get to end on their own terms. Ours does. I don't believe him. I think he's lying to us.
Oh, okay.
It does not make sense to end this universe so soon. It has barely begun. And it is so clear that everybody else except him wants to keep going. And if they're ending it just because he's done, that's stupid. American comics are known for multiple writers working on these things. This universe doesn't have to end with Dennis Camp. Also, these comics have been selling gangbusters and doing things that people have been wanting from the main universe for years, but in this alternate universe. And I bet that this is just a transition into something else that will continue this story, unless Camp says otherwise when he makes that longer post, which he hasn't yet, last I checked. So I think he's lying to us. Because there's no way
Do you have any
they're this stupid.
like complaints about any of the comics of the Absolute Comics?
Oh yeah, for sure. All of them are boring except the Ultimates and Ultimate X-Men.
Okay.
But at the same time, I don't want it to end. Black Panther got better. Ultimate Wolverine also has been getting better. It sucks that it's going to be ending in like 4 issues. And Ultimates has been a hit the entire time. That's the one that Dennis Camp is writing. And that's why it's been a hit the whole time. Just, God, the Ultimates is just fire. It's essentially, like, how do I describe this? You know what? We haven't been reading any Marvel comics at all. I
realized that the other day.
we have to throw a Marvel comic on here eventually, because I am significantly a bigger DC fan. You tell when I list off all the comics I'm reading. I'm reading Ultimate, Wolverine, Hawkeye, Spider-Man, but also reading Batman, Terrific, Green Lantern, Batgirl, Superman, Green Lantern, Red Hood, The Flash, fucking Justice League Unlimited. I'm reading like twice as many DC comics. For every one Marvel comic, I'm reading at least 3 DC comics. But I like Marvel.
It's funny, right?
And there's Marvel comics to read that I'd like for us to read.
Because like my perception of comics, even though I knew that DC existed, my perception of comics was really just Marvel. And like that was a part of the reason why like I didn't really want to get into them, because I don't really find most of the Marvel universe very interesting. But in reading so many DC comics to start off with, I'm like, I should have been reading comics from the jump and probably only DC. Because they're kind of...
I'm very curious to see like what comics you guys end up reading once we subscribe to DC Universe Infinite, and to just start the episode and you guys are just telling me about this random like comic that you saw on the DC app and just decided to read the first issue
Right.
and then ended up reading like 12. I'm really excited for that, because you guys are going to get in there, you're going to see a bunch of comics, you're going to be like, oh my God, and you're just going to start reading, and it's going to be great.
I promise I'll have more to talk about in the comic section. I'm
ready.
ready.
For sure.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. But yeah, just, move on to the end of what we have in our recording session today. Moving on to the book club. So, of course, we're still reading Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. This is the penultimate episode before we're done in the next issue with the final two issues of issues 7 and 8. But for this one, we're doing issues number 5 and number 6. Of course, still written by Tom King with pencil and inks by Bilikas Evely, colors by Matthias Lopez, letters by Clayton Cowles, cover by Evelyn Lopez, and edited by Brittany Hauser. Quick synopsis of the issues. In issue number 5, Supergirl steps into an ancient trap, stranding her and Ruthie on a planet of nearly perpetual night. Now the Woman of Steel must call on every remaining ounce of strength to combat the monsters left on this world to kill any super unlucky to end up on its surface. In issue number 6, the traumatic secrets of Supergirl's past are revealed as our heroine races to the edge of the universe to escape Krim and his latest weapon. The murderer of young Ruthie's father has gotten his hands on a Mordru globe and plans to use it to make our hero disappear forever. Can she save herself and the young girl's future in the process? She'll need the help of her trusty steed, Comet the Superhorse, which I'm certain you guys didn't know that shit existed.
No.
Nope.
I was confused as hell.
But yeah, as usual, we're going to start with the art. Issue number 6 is probably, I think on average, on every page and panel on average, I think overall it's the most beautiful. I think there's been single pages in other chapters so far that I've liked individually, but as a whole, issue 6 I think is it's the prettiest issue so far. It's just a bunch of beautifully rendered drawings of the landscape of Krypton before and during its destruction. And on top of that, in the present day of the story, Supergirl rides Comet the Superhorse through space as they attempt to outrun the Mordru globe, which we saw, the results of being caught by that in issue 5. And every page of Comet rocketing through space is amazing. Especially that one where they're in front of a sun. But the moment they reach the edge of the universe, which is crazy. I love that in this comic we get little bits and pieces of like Kryptonian bullshit of when Supergirl looks at that dude's DNA and then finds his daughter's body, which is insane.
Right.
And here we get peak Superman bullshit where she gets on her super horse and tells it, hey, yeah, just just to the edge of the galaxy, the edge of the known
I
universe.
don't know if you know where that is, but just head that way.
And then he just moves only God knows how much faster than the speed of light and reaches the edge of the universe in a page where we see the colors disappear in this weird paint mixing type look. It's just awesome. I'll put a picture of it up on the screen and you guys can see it in the comic chat. It's gorgeous.
And it's I was able to suspend my disbelief for a lot of this, especially the thing with her reading the dude's DNA and it. But this was insane because especially because the volume opens kind of cold, volume 6. So I'm who's this horse? Why are we on a horse right now? I had to go back a couple times and make sure I wasn't missing any context
yeah, it does.
from either volume 5 or volume the beginning of volume 6.
Because I read
cold open on a horse. I'm
I read issue 5 last night and then I read issue 6 this morning. So when I started reading, I was oh, did I make a mistake and skip an issue?
I kept looking back. I was I'm wrong, right? Where did this horse come from? What is going on here?
Come from Supergirl. The horse is here.
Supergirl is a horse girl.
Which, you know what? That makes sense. I can see it. She looks like as a person who went to horse girl college.
What?
You're gonna have to tell that story after you're finished recording. She went to racist horse girl college, but anyway. Or they. Sorry.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Wild. Yeah. What other art moments did you guys like?
I liked the lead up to Ruthie being attacked by the big dinosaur. And the way both the paneling of that moment and a lot of the the layout of the typography of the what did she say? It was please wake up or something like that. I thought that was really brilliant.
Yeah, that moment was cool. Let the sun set.
I
She
like
was saying.
the first one.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
Say again?
No, I was just saying.
No, I was just agreeing.
Yeah, she was saying let the sun set.
Oh yeah, that was very dramatic. I was like, please, I don't know what's gonna happen. I was doing like the
Right.
zoom in read mode so I could like read all of like the text
Like I
instead
don't.
of like zoom out because it's hard
Yeah,
to read.
yeah. I do that whenever I'm reading on my tablet. I like double tap it, so it like
Mhm.
goes panel by panel, um,
Mm.
because that's a better way to do it than like artificially zoom in. Um, but dang, what was I about to say? Like, do you guys? I don't know if you guys remember it because maybe you guys don't even remember this, so you're not thinking about this while you're reading it. But they're like this is the comic they're adapting for the movie that's coming out next year that they're currently filming. So when I'm reading this, I'm going like, oh, what is this going to look like in a movie? Are they going to even adapt this part? Like, how are they going to do this?
I want to see the end of the universe, but the panels that I liked was when Ruthie was fighting the green dinosaur, and like the way she's describing it and how it's being drawn out is like very graceful in my opinion, like how she's falling and dodging the dinosaur. And she's like, I don't mean to hype myself up, but and I was like, no, you're hyping yourself up. The way that you're explaining this and how they're like conveying it in image, I'm like, yeah, I would hype myself up too.
Yeah,
But like she slayed her
Yeah.
first beast. She's like, I'm not like this is the first time I've like wielded my weapon and get something and like have like an outcome like this. So I was like, dang, this whole time she's just been like ducking and dodging like bullets and like attacks from others, and like this is the first time we see her like actually in the mix. So I really like that panel.
yeah. That was the most interesting part of issue 5 for me. Kind of getting into the story analysis in issue 5, we get more focused on the deeds of Ruthie as she defends Supergirl from dinosaurs after they're transported to a planet with a kryptonite sun by a Mordru globe, as I previously mentioned, which is a magical device that can send you to anywhere in the universe. By random, it seems, but randomly it chose the worst place possible for Supergirl by convenience of
Yeah,
the
random
story.
not
Right.
behind.
Um, and kryptonite, of course, the weakness of Kryptonians. So Ruthie and Supergirl have to wait until the sun sets, and Supergirl recovers before they can leave, leaving Ruthie to defend them, which she does to the best of her abilities. Despite facing off against gigantic man-eating dinosaurs that were designed to kill a weakened Superman, seeing it as that is why this planet and the green sun exist, according to Kara, is it was made to kill Superman. And he only escaped because the Justice League came and saved him after 45 minutes, but she was there a whole day for a whole like 12 hours. Um,
Hmm.
and yeah, I'd love just getting more of Ruthie, like being more in the action rather than being a bystander.
Same. She's getting a lot of character growth in these last couple volumes, which both scares me and makes me happy because I think she's my favorite part of all of this. I know it's about Supergirl, but in my heart, this is Ruthie's story.
It's
Mm,
like very Ruthie-esque.
Hmm.
yeah. And in issue 6, this is one I couldn't wait for, to the point that I kind of spoiled that it even existed. In like the last episode, I just straight up mentioned like, oh yeah, they're gonna get into a backstory. um, and yeah, in this chapter, we get Supergirl's backstory, which is real sad. It's real sad.
Very sad.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to
Yeah,
expect.
unlike Superman, Kara grew to be 14 before Krypton was destroyed. So she
Oof.
watched all of her friends and family die alongside the planet itself, which wasn't destroyed in an instant like it's often depicted, but instead it took days, long enough for Kara's father, Zor-El, to encapsulate Argo City in a dome that protected them from the harshness of space as the city was split apart from the planet. Unfortunately, that wasn't enough because the very planet itself had become irradiated and turned into the infamous kryptonite. That's right, kryptonite is made out of irradiated pieces of Krypton, and that's why it's called kryptonite. So yes, Superman's
Mm.
weakness is his destroyed planet. Um,
My
Yeah, that makes
gosh.
sense. It
so
tracks.
yeah, everyone left on the planet is being, hitting, just getting hit with cancer, and they have to cover the ground in lead, which takes its toll on everyone. And Kara ends up doing most of it by herself, which is crazy. Even before she gets her superpowers, and Unfortunately, that doesn't last long because a hail of rocks and debris undid their work, forcing Zor-El to take a cue from his brother Jor-El, Superman's father, and build a single rocket for his daughter so that she may survive. Um, so yeah, what did you guys think of this issue?
It was really sad. Like the whole that constant repetition of I kept walking is just so like that part was so haunting. And like I didn't know again because of like bringing up what you said like I didn't know that Krypton was not immediately destroyed and that like it actually took a while. And that I think makes it like even sadder because it's like there's nothing like with the world being destroyed in an instant, at least you can have peace because it's like after that instant is over, it's done. Like you're dead. But like to watch the only planet you've ever known like fall apart around you and not be able to do anything about it because you're 14 and this is something way beyond you is like I don't know, that just really stuck with me.
Yeah, no, I agree because like anytime I've heard about Krypton being destroyed, I thought it was just like blown up and they were like, sent to Earth. I didn't think it happened in stages because when they were talking about the dome and how many people survived, it was like, oh yeah, 18,000 people survived. I'm like, oh, okay, that's a good number. And it was like after like the building of like the lead wall and then like the rocks coming through, it was like, yeah, 13,000 died. I was like, oh, already? Immediately?
Yeah.
And, like, she was just doing her best to comfort people, but, like, she's just a baby. How does a baby comfort a dying adult? And then, like, the description of her walking by the stroller and not even checking if there was, like, a baby in there, like, if it's alive or not, like, just
Yeah.
pretending to, like, be asleep or anything. Coping
That was
mechanism.
fucking bleak.
But it
Oof.
was it was messing me up. I was like, "Bro, she she continues to try and do good. I would have been a villain. Either be a villain or I
Yeah.
would have just died on the planet. Like, don't send me away. I can't live like this."
Right. I can't live with that knowledge. That's insane.
Like, my parents told me to do good. I can't do good. I can't.
Yeah, she's had it rough, but she's still a hero, and that's what makes Supergirl so great. And I'm so excited for this movie. So good. Um, but yeah, Comet the Superhorse. I hope he's in the movie too. um,
Which how many super animals are there? Now I feel obligated to ask
A
because
horse,
we've got
a
Crypto the
dog, and
super
what else?
dog.
yeah,
Or a
Right.
cat.
yeah. I mentioned Streaky, the super cat.
Yeah.
Right.
Those are only ones I know. I know Streaky, Comet, and Crypto. There's a bat cow.
Okay. That's
Okay.
hilarious.
Batman has a cow. Um, Wonder Woman has a
Okay.
kangaroo.
What?
Wonder Woman's
That I
pet is a
knew. I
kangaroo.
knew that.
Yeah, Wonder Woman's kangaroo. Also, a lot of people don't know this. You know, she's Princess of Themyscira, but she's also a Disney princess because Wonder Woman can just talk to animals. That's one of the powers that I forget what goddess gave her that power, but she can talk to animals. A lot of people don't know that Wonder Woman can talk to animals.
Mm,
Where have we seen this?
sick.
I never knew this.
Um, well, I knew that from other things that I read, but I don't know. I can't think of any instance where it shows up particularly. It definitely shows up in Absolute Wonder Woman. At one point, she talks to an animal,
Oh,
and
okay.
her friends are like, "Are you insane?" And she's like, "No, I can actually talk to the animals." And they're like, "Uh huh, sure, okay, I believe you. You're not insane. You're just talking to animals. That's what normal people
Totally,
do."
girl.
Why would
Um,
you doubt her? She's literally a Wonder Woman.
yeah. I'm so excited to read that comic. But yeah, that's all we got for this issue. Next is the last, and then we're moving on to Batman, and that'll be fun.